गुड न्यूज टुडे, नई उम्मीद जगाने वाला हिंदी न्यूज चैनल।
It's battle for Panjshir, the last Afghanistan bastion holding out against Taliban. Resistance forces are fighting the Taliban have called for ceasefire after they reportedly suffered heavy loss over the weekend. The National Resistance Force also proposed the Taliban to withdraw and in return will refrain from any military action. This is coming after Taliban claimed to have captured all 7 districts of Panjshir. Taliban said that they have taken control of central Panjshir, crucial road leading to the valley, police headquarters and all the facilities in the valley. However, the resistance forces have denied Taliban's claims. Zahir Akbar, Afghan envoy to Tajikistan, who is supporting the resistance forces, has said that there are heavy clashes, but Taliban have not taken over Panjshir. Meanwhile, as per Tolu News, Fahim Dashti, journalist and resistance forces spokesperson, has been killed in clashes with Taliban. Local media also suggests nephew of Ahmad Masood, General Abdul Udud Zari, was killed. According to sources, leaders of resistance forces, Ahmad Masood is in Tajikistan for the past 3 days and Amrullah Saleh is still holding in the valley at an undisclosed location but is safe. So that's the latest coming in at the moment. Questions arising on whether Panjshir has fallen into the hands of Taliban. It's the battle for Panjshir, the last Afghanistan bastion holding out against the Taliban. Resistance forces, they've called for ceasefire after they suffered heavy losses over the weekend reportedly, and the National Resistance Forces also proposed the Taliban to withdraw, and they said in return they will refrain from military action. So it's the Taliban versus the resistance forces at the moment. Questions arising on whether Panjshir has fallen into the hands of Taliban or not. Geeta Mohan with all the latest details. She's a foreign affairs editor. Geeta, what are you picking up from your sources at the moment? Has Panjshir fallen into the hands of Taliban? It is a fight between Taliban and the resistance forces. Claims and counterclaims making their way. What's the story?
Well, that's right. The Taliban now are claiming that they have indeed taken Panjshir because they are now in the capital. There are flags that are being put up and photographs that are being put up on social media of having captured the capital of Panjshir province. But these are claims by the Taliban. There's no ground confirmation from the Panjshir resistance. We do know that they have been confined to only a few areas that are left where the resistance forces really are. Reports also suggest that major commanders and officers of the resistance forces have been taken down, which includes Fahim Dashti, spokesperson of Ahmad Masood. We are also given to understand that Ahmad Masood now is in Tajikistan. He crossed over, but Amrullah Saleh, former vice president and one who's claimed that he is acting president of Afghanistan, is still in Panjshir, according to sources, and is in an undisclosed location. Most of them absolutely unreachable because they are now in areas that are that in all probability do not have connectivity. But the Taliban over here, Zabila Mujahid, in a statement has put out saying that the province has been taken and that they have hoisted the flag of the Taliban outside the governor's office of residence.
Absolutely, Geeta. So at the moment, there are a lot of developments that are coming in right there. Resistance forces have also called for a ceasefire. Panjshir perhaps has fallen into the hands of Taliban. We're getting live reports. We're bringing those to you. But Geeta, questions arising on Amrullah Saleh. Is he still holding fort right there in Panjshir? And what are you picking up from your sources? Is he safe at the moment?
Well, that's right. As of now, reports suggest that he still is in Panjshir holding fort, but it just seems like they are losing ground. There are reports that are coming in, some videos that have done the rounds in social media as well, Shefi, of how Pakistan forces have held the Taliban with drone strikes on Panjshir, and that's why completely ensuring that the resistance forces are taken down. So in major areas there was a lot of not just gunfight but bombardment as well. Drone strikes from the Pakistani side. We do know that ISI chief General Hamid is in Kabul, and many of them saying that he is the one who's looking at ensuring that Panjshir is taken down, that Panjshir is contained, and that the leadership, if at all, either succumb or leave Panjshir. So for now, reports that are coming in, Sheffi, are that Ahmed Masood is in Tajikistan, Amrullah Saleh still is in Panjshir in an undisclosed location, but major parts of Panjshir has been
Presidential balance as well, putting out a strong message across of their takeover in Afghanistan right there. How long are the resistance forces even going to be able to fight the Taliban? That is also a big question.
Is that for me?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Geeta.
Well, yes, now it is only a matter of time. It seems like the Panjshir resistance is falling apart, not because they do not have the determination and will, Sheffi. It is more so to do with the lack of ammunition and weapons, lack of forces, lack of international community support, lack of the military support that it has been asking for, and certainly lack of humanitarian assistance that it has called the United Nations to look into. We've seen a meeting between the United Nations representative and Mullah Baradar, where they're talking about continuing assistance to Afghanistan, but one should look at how the entire resistance and the humanitarian assistance that the resistance has been asking for is not just forgotten, but absolutely ignored. The international community, including Antony Blinken, Secretary of State of the United States of America, in a statement yesterday said that while we are monitoring the situation on the ground, the Taliban will not be able to take in economic sanctions from the international community. They will not be able to withstand it. But nothing about whether if there is going to be economic sanctions or not. Look at the kind of humanitarian crisis. We're looking at borders between Afghanistan and Pakistan, between Afghanistan and Tajikistan. We're looking at human rights and humanitarian crisis when it comes to all those people who fled major cities of Afghanistan and went to Panjshir seeking help and seeking some sort of support from Ahmed Masood. Now, those people also do not know really where to go. So there is a huge crisis when it comes to people who do not want to live under the Taliban and what is really going to happen to them.
I also would like to understand from you, since you track this very closely, what is the stance of the global fraternity? Are they waiting and watching in silence as Panjshir too falls perhaps into the hands of Taliban and Afghanistan gets completely taken over by Taliban? Or is there a strong stance coming in, perhaps from the United Nations or any other countries?
Well, practically speaking, Jeffrey, Panjshir has not fallen, but it's only a matter of time. The Taliban have air support from Pakistan Air Force. The Taliban have air support when it comes to drone strikes from the Pakistani military. They have been striking into Panjshir all through last night. And is the reason why we've seen such huge loss of life of commanders of the Panjshir resistance, be it Fahim Dashti, spokesperson of Ahmed Masood, General Dawood, who is the nephew of Ahmed Shah Masood, the slain leader, and cousin of Ahmed Masood, who is now moved to Tajikistan, or for that matter, chiefs and commanders who have been commandeering various positions around Panjshir Valley. But nothing when it comes to what the international community really is going to do if Amrullah Saleh and Ahmed Masood were to be hurt by the Taliban. We do know that Ahmed Masood, in a Facebook page post, put out a statement saying that there needs to be negotiations and talks. So he's put that statement and then that step forward, saying that there needs to be negotiations and talks to come to a peaceful resolution rather than this. But now the Taliban have an upper hand. With the air support, it seems like they are not going to be deterred, and they will continue till they take Panjshir completely. Meanwhile, Ahmed Masood is in Tajikistan. There is no word from the international community, no action. They speak of economic sanctions, but nobody is speaking about initiating sanctions if this continues. It's not just about Panjshir. Look at what is happening in Kabul and Herat. Women protesting, silent or for that matter, protesting peacefully in the streets of Kabul and Herat were attacked by the Taliban. And there has been no word apart from condemnation personally by senators, congressmen.
And in the light of all of what you're saying right now, it is important to highlight Pakistan's role in aiding the Taliban in the capture of Afghanistan too. Pakistan has been a crucial force.
Absolutely. ISI chief being in Kabul for the past couple of days completely shows that they are looking at not just how to move forward when it comes to taking on Panjshir, but how the Afghan government should move forward as a government governing an entire country. So while we are talking about Afghanistan and stability in Afghanistan, we know that there is a control structure now being built as we speak, wherein Pakistan has a very important role to play. What role will it play is something that has to be seen. Right now, they, in all probability, are smiling and happy at the result of their 20-year support to the Taliban. But